name's William Russell. I'm from Williams Harbour and living in Port Simpson now. I always like to look at the dogs and hear my dad and my uncle telling stories about dog sledding and dog races and what they used them for. And it made me interested, so I decided to get a team. I'm on my team now for about 30 years, I suppose, but I always had one or two dogs ever since I was 5. And Where Crumble, the first one I got a dog from, the little pup from, and I always liked dogs, and that's the first one I got. That's where I started from. For me, I just I likes to keep the culture, because a lot of my relatives and family members, they like the dogs. They always like Dogteam and dog races, and they always talk good about the dogs. So I like to keep that going. It's a lot of fun if you like dogs. It's a lot of work, but Dogteam is you got to put a lot of time into it to make a Dogteam, and feeding them is another big practice, and looking after them, making good homes, beds for them, dog houses, and that kind of stuff, and feeding them good.
When I was younger, he used to take me over to NunatuKavut, which is where he keeps the dogs, and I would mix up their food with a wooden stick in a bucket, and that was like so fun to me. We still help him feed them, like when he's away for work, we feed them for him. There's nothing that I really have to do, but I just like being involved with them just because it's fun.
Well, we boys a lot of food. We like sacks of dog food and herring, and we hunts a bit, the seal meat and that kind of stuff. And mostly seals. Dogs like seals. Meat better than anything. At first, when I had dogs, my dad, he helped a lot, right? And he's still doing it all the time. But Mom used to be cooking feed for him and that. And now when I moved to Porto, now Kathy be helping me. Then the youngsters got big enough, they be feeding them when I'm gone. And usually takes me for a ride and all that. Zoey and Kate and William and Kathy, we all go for a ride on them. And whoever else around, like friends or anybody likes to go for a ride, usually take them out.
Me and my brothers used to get on them when they were a lot younger. When my youngest brother was like a baby, I would hold him on the front, and then I'd hold on to the rope so that he doesn't fall off. I've been on the dog sled by myself, but I never ran them myself. Like my dad is always on the skidoo in front of us. He knows how to control them more than I do. I only know how to make them stop. Sometimes, like when they're just out practicing and running, my dad will get on the dog sled going up the lake, and I'll drive the skidoo, and then we'll switch on the way back and I'll get on. I always get my friends to come and take them for rides.
There's challenges in the dogs is making a Dogteam. You know, there's a lot of work getting the dogs to listen to you, making the lead dog and train them. You gotta look after them good and feed them good, and you gotta run them. Like practice makes perfect. So the more you practice them, trains them, the better team you'll have.
His leader, his name is Spot, and he's a really good runner. He's really smart, and he's pretty fearless. He's not scared of anything.
When he's a pup, sometimes you can tell if he's going to be a lead dog. If he's a braver dog, if he's a more bolder dog, fearless. But sometimes when you have him in your team, and sometimes you can pick out the dog when he's a good runner, and he likes to work hard, and he don't look back. He's just going straight ahead. So lots of times you're picking out that way.
All of his dogs, they have different personalities. My favorite one, his name is Gibson, and he's very sweet and calm. When they have puppies, we keep them like by my house until they get a bit older. Then we bring them up to NunatuKavut, and that's like a lot of fun. We love playing with the puppies. It is a lot of work. Like my dad works all the time, and he's super busy, but he always makes time for his dogs, like feeding them and making sure their beds are warm and cleaning them and running them and stuff like that. But he always says that it's worth all of the work when you're on the Kavut and you're racing them. That's like his favorite thing.
More guys, get more exercise over here.
It is a lot of work, but it don't seem like work when you enjoy it. Like obviously some kind of like salmon fishing and hunting and a lot of that kind of stuff, and trapping, that's a lot of work too, I guess. But for me, that don't bother me. When you enjoys it, and your dogs, you love them like every day, is everyday thing. No matter 7 days a week, every day, you gotta feed them, look after them. No matter if it's raining or snowing or blowing, you gotta go and check on them. And part of your family, dog thing is. But if, like you said, if you enjoys it, and you like some time and work, don't mean nothing to them. Well, boys, it's pretty peaceful if you, lots of time when you put your dogs in, go for a ride by yourself, and you go up on the ice with them, and you don't hear nothing, only the dogs running and panking and different noise. You hear noises of sometimes the ice be cracking and make sounds. And pretty peaceful ride you get most of the time. I know you feel very free, or especially excited out of when your dogs are running, like sometimes, and you're getting a good ride, it makes you excited. But now sometimes when they're just trotting along slower, you hear more noises, like the sound and stuff. But when they're running, you're pretty excited about the dogs, and you're looking at the dogs, obviously see which one is running better than others. And
to me, it's like relaxing, but like when they're racing, like when my dad's in a race, that's really exciting.
And the first time I won a Dogteam race was I was 18 years old. That was pretty exciting. The first time I won the race, so I was 13. I went to Penzance Arm on tree dogs one time. That's the first time I went traveling in the community from Williams to Penzance Arm. It was at Christmas time. I went down there with tree dogs. But now my parents were there on Skidoo and other people there to see it, but took a long time I did, but I made it.
I don't remember the first time I ever went for a ride on them because I was only 1. But the first time that I do remember, I was like 3 or 4, and one of the pups took me for a ride in the bay. But I didn't use a Commodic, I just went on my little sled that I owned. And I can still remember that because it was a lot of fun.
But for me, the biggest gathering we have is around on the coast is a Dogteam race. People never seen all year. Older people that always gets out and comes in and watch the races. And it seems like you really enjoys it. Get out and see the dog, I guess, races and that. Most of them is going to probably die out, right? Unless younger people picks up and starts racing. I always say I like to have them till I'm 62. Say I raced them until I'm 62. If I'm able to, I want to be able to say I'm had it raced them for 50 years.
If anyone my age ever wanted to get a Dogteam, I would definitely tell them that they should, if they have a passion for it and if they want to do it, because not many younger people have Dogteams, and I would really like to see the tradition kept alive. Hopefully one of my brothers will have a Dogteam when they're older.
Well, I hope that the tradition of dog sleds keeps going. I hope someone picks it up. I'm hoping there's a few of my buddies still around when I have them, so I hope some more younger people picks it up and keeps the dog tradition alive and the dog races. Don't think you're going to get a team overnight, a Dogteam, right? It takes a lot of work, a lot of time, but if you like dogs and you figure that you're going to want a team, why not get them? And if you put time into it, you'll make a team.